Okay, so next we need to add some photos or some files to our landscape to make them be more surreal. You should have already collected your images, but just to give you kind of a rundown of burst.shopify.com, it's a great place to go and get high resolution images for free. So what I'm going to do is simply just search something simple. In this case, I'm just going to start off with dog and see what we get. As I scroll through here, what I like about this site is there's plenty of high resolution images that also offer us nice contrast. So that means that we have a simple background and then we have a well lit subject. In this case, it's a dog. So it just makes it easier to then make a mask of just the dog. I'm going to download this as a low resolution image. It might ask you for email address. You don't need to worry about that. And then once I have my image of my dog here, I'm just going to go ahead and add that to my Surreal landscape folder here. Once I'm ready to put my file in, what I'm going to do is simply just open up that file, find that image of that dog, and I'm going to drag it into my photo P. So notice that the dog image is pretty small. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. Now, remembering with our selection tools here, I want to make sure I have my image selected over in my layers panel. Once I have my dog layer selected, I'm going to go ahead and just rename that dog just so I know what layer that is. Next, what I'm going to do is grab my quick selection tool, and I'm going to go ahead and just try and select that dog. It's going to ask me here or tell me I need to rasterize. I'm going to click OK, and it's just going to automatically do that for me. So now I'm ready to go ahead. I selected my dog. All I did with that quick selection tool is just click inside of my dog, and it grabbed most of it for me. Once I have my dog selected, I'm just going to go ahead and select my mask. And there we go. We have our first image of our dog walking down the street in our snowy landscape. Now, feel free to play around with the size. Do you want your dog to be a giant dog? Do you want it to be a small dog? Whatever it may be. Also, play around with perspective. Notice how the further up the road he is, the bigger he looks. However, if I move him closer to the road and closer to the front, he just looks like a normal, smaller dog that's just closer to us. So really play around with kind of the way in which you're using scale. And, if we put our dog all the way back here, he'll look really, really big. But when we move him closer, he just looks like a normal dog. Okay. So essentially, all you're going to be doing is adding the rest of your files and doing the same thing, just using your quick selection tool, masking out your image, and then simply just moving them around. You should already have your images. If not, feel free to spend some time on Burst and looking for the right images. You can also use Google Images, but just be sure that you're finding high quality images that you can add to your collage.